Fun and entertainment are overrated.
That's because you're British. That's because you're British.
There are two kinds of exploration. One of them is, I have no idea what I'm looking for, but maybe I'll find it when I see it.
Okay,
another kind of exploration.
You can't argue with him. I've learned it. It's
Another kind of exploration is, we think we know what's going on, and we want to test our hypotheses. That's another kind of exploration. And one of them is there life somewhere else? We know there's life in at least one place in the universe, and that's called Earth. So what I want to do is go to the frozen surface of Jupiter's moon Europa, cut a hole, go ice fishing down there, put a submersible, see if something swims up to the camera and licks the lens. That's what I want to look for.
Yeah.
Look for life.
With you.
Life.
But Neil, you were looking for something. When was the last time you just went, I hope to discover something? No, you're always looking for something.
No, but whenever we look for something, we are often surprised. And I think that the point is that if we really could anticipate the progress of science, it almost, in some sense, wouldn't be worth doing, because it means we'd already kind of know where we're going and what the answers are. And I think so when people ask me, what's the next great thing? I say, if I knew, I'd be doing it right now. And so I think there is this sense we are driven by questions, interesting questions, but often those questions lead us to answers that lead to more interesting questions that are totally different than the ones we came up with.
I say not just often, but most times.
Yeah, so I think that...
But you can say something about the question which you really would wish to know the answer to. And, I mean, for me, it would be what's consciousness? Because that's totally baffling.
Richard, you know what I think?
I agree.
Not that you asked, but what I think on this is consciousness has kind of baffled us for a while, okay? And evidence that we haven't a clue about what consciousness is drawn from the fact of how many books are published on the topic, right? We're not really continuing to publish books, not really, on like Newtonian physics. It's done, all right? So the fact that people keep publishing books on consciousness is the evidence we don't know anything about it, because if we knew all about it, you wouldn't have to keep publishing. So what I wonder, Richard, is whether there really is no such thing as consciousness at all, and that there's some other understanding of the functioning of the human brain that renders that question obsolete.
To that, I've got to say, like, oh, wow.
Perfect. Okay.
And am I like thinking, or am I just like thinking that I'm thinking? Wow.
Will you stop with that?
Richard. We went decades not understanding the precession of Mercury. It was this big mystery, and we invented solutions to it, like a mysterious planet Vulcan tugging on it such that it's perihelion precessed. And that wasn't the explanation at all. It was obviously general relativity, another thing, not the original question we were asking. So you say you want to know what consciousness is. Maybe that's not even the right question.
How about this? What's the nature of consciousness?
Excellent. Okay, let's move on. Actually, Tracy, I think I want to direct this one to you.
Who's you?
To Tracy. That's not Neil.
I'll be happy.
Okay. Okay, it says here, science has recently become somewhat trendy, popping up in the show The Big Bang Theory or in Beep Loving Science on Facebook.
She's here.
I know she's here. Okay. Often the focus is not actually on the science, but making entertainment out of science. Is this ultimately good for science, do you think? So I think you have a perspective on that.
Yeah, I do. I don't think when it's done well, it's diminishing the science or the scientists for that matter. I think that what is really spectacular is when you can take high-level science and apply storytelling and all kinds of things that we know help people learn about a subject. I mean, we learned in, again, broadcast news. I was with ABC News for many years, and if anyone said, well, we must do that story because it's very, very important, we knew that was just death. Because, eat your peas journalism or eat your peas writing, you must know this because it's important, is just, it's never going to light a fire in people's imaginations, children or adults. So I don't think it's turning, entertainment is not a bad word, as long as you continue to preserve and communicate the real stuff, the real science. And that's the philosophy we apply to this. We didn't want to do, nod to science and then go off and tap dance. I mean, it was really engaging with the material, but recognizing that sometimes this stuff is really hard. And you need to write it well, act it well, and
produce it well. And I have to say, you do a great job of producing. I think you really do. And
I only wanted to answer that question. All you have to look at is what is going on this stage tonight. This is entertainment.
I hope so.
This is absolute entertainment. I'm sitting here just watching. I'm ducking out of the way sometimes, but I'm sitting here watching, and it's making a point about science and how to convey and how to make science interesting to the public. You're getting into these.
I agree.
This is how to do it.
I think fun and entertainment are overrated.
That's because you're British. That's because you're British. It's,
No.
It's okay.
People are more alike than they are different.
Science is hard, but it's worth it. It's fascinating, it's enthralling. But if we only talk about the bits that are fun and make bangs and smells and things, then we don't do science justice. I was once, we use the phrase dumbing down, and we mustn't do that. I once gave a speech at a British conference about the public communication of science, and I was ranting against dumbing down. And at the end, some man got up and said, "This is not an exaggeration, this is a true story." He said, "Maybe we need dumbing down in order to bring women and minorities into science."
We're gonna get there because there are a few questions about that. In fact,
That's why we fought a war to get out of England and start a new country.
I have to say, he was booed in the original.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, good, absolutely. And we actually, speaking of that, we are gonna have Larry Summers here at one of our events next year, so you can ask him about that if any of you know about that.